Outliers is a book by Gladwell, Malcolm, and I'll be doing just a quick thought summary of each chapter. So, the book is called Outliers, and they are trying to identify, I guess, in the first chapter, example of an outlier. So, we start with a city, or I guess province in Italy called Roseto. It's a medieval type shaped town. There's a big town square, and there's a church. There, let's see here. So they have a palace that's was once owned by the Sikis family. So the big thing was that these people were poor. They were working all day. They would go down to these quarries that were far down the hills, so they would go there all night, sorry, all day, and then return uphill all night. And it seemed like their conditions were very unideal. So eventually, some of them went to go to the New World, America, and America seemed to be a very promising place for them because there was opportunities for growth, jobs, and better pay. So yeah, so it started back in the 19th century, towards the end of the 19th century, 1882. The Rosestans, what they call them, from Rosetto, they went to New York, and then they eventually went further west to Bangor, Pennsylvania. And then eventually, after the Rosettos in Pennsylvania gave word to the ones in Italy, they started to migrate even more from the west to the west. So one thing that stood out from this is, well, let me start off. Stuart Wolf he was a dietitian, and he graduated from the University of Oklahoma. He studied this his entire life, and the one thing that was brought up to his attention by, I believe, the mayor is that the people of Rosetta under the age of 65 had no signs of heart disease. There was something weird going on that it didn't make sense to Stewart because it was almost common practice, because this is the time before they had the lowering cholesterol medicine, so it was pretty much expected or guaranteed to have this. So they wanted to do a study, and let's see, he was doing a study with okay, so he was having he was at a conference for the medical society, and one of the doctors said that he's been practicing for several years, and he noticed that condition that people of Rosetta under 65 don't have heart disease. So Wolf was shocked because there was something going on. So he wanted to investigate. So he did a study. He worked with the mayor at the at their at their township, and essentially they took over the whole town hall. And Wolf was like, "Don't you need this for your meetings?" And the mayor's like, "No, you just take it." So Wolf was like, "Don't you still need the meetings?" And the mayor's like, "No, take it. We'll postpone the meetings until you find what's going on here with these Rosettas." So they did the study. Wolf got his colleagues from Oklahoma, other scientists and sociologists to cover that. And they were looking at the empirical data, and the data was showing that these people of Rosetta had 33% less conditions for heart disease. So the only thing that they could have made from drawing trends of the past was people of Rosetta in America, they were outliers.